I am Skyping with Sarah Kendzior. She's a writer out of St. Louis on economics, politics, and the media. She has a very interesting article published in the Globe and Mail. The Trump ship may finally be sinking. Sarah, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. Have you ever been and are you a supporter of President Trump?
No, I'm not a supporter of President Trump.
And you've never been?
No.
And why not?
Well, I don't agree with his policies. I don't agree with his personal behavior. I've watched my entire life as he's hurt people in this country, as he's run businesses in an irresponsible way, as he's said inflammatory rhetoric, and as he's repeatedly lied. And I don't think he has the interest of the American people at heart. And so, you know, we've seen him in action during his months in the presidency. I think he's done a terrible job. And I think that's a shame because America deserves better.
So you've always hated President Trump even before he became president?
It's not really a matter of hating him. It's a matter of thinking, you know, what is good for America? What kind of policies work? What kind of person do we want our kids to look up to? What kind of values do we want to have? What kind of country do we want to be? And when I look at Trump, no, I don't see anything that I want to emulate, that I want our country to emulate. And I don't think he's really looking out for our country. I think he's looking out for himself. And so again, you know, my emphasis is on citizens of this country and getting the kind of elected officials that we deserve during very difficult times.
You write, in your writing, you call the president morally repugnant. Give me an example of that.
Well, okay.
Because the things you just named is just your personal opinions about him. But give me an example where the president is morally repugnant.
He bragged about grabbing women by the pussy. He was accused of rape by his wife during their divorce proceedings. He said extremely bigoted things about Mexicans, about blacks, about immigrants in general. These are things backed up in stereotypes meant to incite hatred. He equated neo-Nazis with the people who are fighting against them, including Heather Heyer, a woman who was killed. You know, if you want to continue with this question, I'm going to be here all day because it's a very long list of misdeeds, and that's not even going into his corporate malfeasance, which is now hurting not just himself and people around him, but all Americans.
You just gave me fake news. Give me something that he said about black people that was morally repugnant.
Okay. He said that the Central Park Five was guilty of a crime that they didn't commit. He took out a full-page newspaper.
How is that morally repugnant?
It's morally repugnant because it's a lie that defames innocent people, and he continued to do it long after their innocence was proved.
Did you think that about Barack Obama when he lied and said, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor? If you like your health insurance, you can keep your health insurance? Did you think, wow, this is a morally repugnant president?
You can keep your plan if you are satisfied with it.
If you like the plan you have, you can keep it.
If you like your plan and you like your doctor, you won't have to do a thing. You keep your plan. If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan. If you've got health insurance, you can keep it. If you like your health care plan, you will keep your plan.
No, I didn't think that that was a case of a president being morally repugnant, because the act of passing Obamacare had to do with both parties and was a piece of legislature. It was not a bigoted comment
and a lie made
offhand about a group of teenage boys who had done nothing wrong.
It didn't have anything. It didn't have anything to do with both parties. The Republicans did not vote for Obamacare. He did it without the help. How about when Obama said, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin?
To the parents of Trayvon Martin. You know, if I had a son, he'd look like Trayvon.
And we later found that Trayvon Martin was a thug who got what he deserved, as well as the police.
That's a terrible thing to say. I don't think Trayvon Martin was a thug. And
no, he was a thug.
He was not a thug.
He was a thug.
It's a terrible thing to say. He was killed while walking down the street after buying candy. He was killed by one of his own neighbors for absolutely no reason. Then that neighbor was so
That's not true.
that he found him intimidating. And now this family has to go on for the rest of their lives without their son who he loved. He did nothing wrong. And so I think it's a terrible thing to say of somebody who was killed in such an atrocious manner.
His father and mother are fake. They're phony. They failed their son.
I hope people listening to this show can hear what I'm saying and take the time to look up things on their own. We were all entitled to our own opinions, but we're not really entitled to our own facts, especially about an innocent teenage boy who was killed.
He was anything but innocent. But
this is very easy to look up.
Let me move on. Hold on.
I really encourage your audience to do so. I think it would be very informative for them.
How about you said that the president said bad things or wrong things about the Mexicans or Hispanics. What did he say about them?
He launched his campaign by saying that Mexicans were rapists and murderers, and that a wall is going to be something that's going to protect us from them. He treats people as guilty when they haven't done anything wrong. Are there people who've committed crimes? Sure. Should we be anti-crime? Yes. Is crime inherently linked to someone's ethnicity or country of origin? No.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico.
How do you feel right now sitting there being dishonest about what the president said? Do you believe that you are a morally repugnant person for putting out lies?
No, I feel fine about what I'm saying.
So you're okay with lying?
Actual policies.
You're okay with lying?
That hurt people, and I don't want to see people hurt.
You're okay with lying about the president, but you can judge the president and say that he's morally repugnant. What the president said is that we're going to put a big, beautiful wall around the borders, and because hold on a minute, hold on. He said that we have murders, rapists, and God knows what else coming across the borders. He didn't call, and he said we have some good folks coming. He didn't say Mexicans were like that.
He literally called them bad hombres.
He was referring to the illegal aliens coming across the borders. Does it bother you at all that illegals coming across the borders are affecting blacks first and foremost when it comes to jobs, crime, education, healthcare? Does that bother you that blacks are being hurt first and foremost?
No, because that's a myth.
You don't care about that?
What's actually happening. There are a lot of people in this country who are struggling to find work. That is something that is accurate. This idea that immigrants are coming in and stealing jobs is a myth. The main thing that's hurt our economy is automation, and that's something that he is not addressing.
So
there are plenty of immigrants who are coming over, as they have throughout American history, looking for a better way of life. The majority of them, the vast majority of them, have committed no crime. And they should not be lumped in with people who have.
So you're saying that, Sarah, that you, as a white woman, a liberal, you're not bothered at all. You can care less that illegal aliens are affecting blacks first and foremost. You don't care about that.
I think that that's an incorrect assumption, and it's pretty easy to go and look up and find information about why the economy is hurting. I do think that the economy is bad. I do wish everyone could have better job opportunities. I don't think that that's the fault of people coming from Mexico. I think that we should have better job programs and plans that look out for all American citizens, and I don't think that President Trump is doing that. You could see that yesterday. So you're saying that
the blacks, Democrats, black liberals who are complaining about this, are they lying?
That are complaining about what?
The illegals coming in and affecting them first and foremost. Are they lying?
I don't know if they're lying. I think that they're misinformed if that is the position that they hold, because it's not a true position.
So you're saying that they're misinformed?
They will be. I don't know. You should ask them.
Amazing.
I'm not going to speak for people who I don't know personally.
Who has been?
I can just tell you that that position is based on incorrect information.
Amazing. You're misinformed. It's so sad. Who has been more violent and destructive in the past few years? Antifa and Black Lives Matter, the alt-left, or the alt-right and white nationalists?
I'm going to go with white nationalists on that one. I'm going to go with the people who plowed a car into a crowd of that were protesting Nazis and killed an innocent woman. Of course, white nationalists and white supremacists are more violent. There are statistics backing this up. There's been an enormous amount of growth of these kind of groups over the last 10 years, which has been documented. Trump is currently cutting off funding for research to track and prevent the growth of these violent movements. And I think that's a shame because they're out there targeting and hurting people.
And so you just had Nancy Pelosi and others who are saying that Antifa is an evil group of people that need to be dealt with. When you see the violence, it's brought on by shameful people on the left who are dressing in dark clothes and hiding their faces like little cowards. In Charlottesville, we saw them attack the alt-right who had a permit to hold a peaceful freedom rally, and these people showed up. Black Lives Matter chanting, "What do we want? Dead cops. When do we want it now?"
Dead cops! Now! Dead cops! Now!
Pigs in the blanket, fry 'em like bacon.
Bacon! Pigs in a blanket! Fry like bacon! Pigs in a blanket! Fry like bacon!
And so you're sitting there saying it's the alt-right when it's really the alt-left. So it's just that you're not really
chanting the Jews would not replace us.
You're not really an honest person.
Murdered somebody in that rally, and you were out there with torches, and who were surrounded by peaceful people, by people who don't want the rise of neo-Nazis and the KKK in this country, who are tired of these extremist groups being pulled from the fringes to the mainstream and threatening people. Of course, we should be standing against that.
But Sarah,
basic moral action, and it's also an action of civil rights and protecting people from harm. That's what we should be about as a country.
Sarah, which is it? You're just poorly informed or wicked to the core?
I'm totally informed. I assure you I'm not wicked to the core.
Hold on, let me take a break. So, where's Sarah?
No answer.
No answer?
Right.
Did she run?
Yeah, she hanged up.
She hanged up?
Uh-huh.
But she was acting so tough. I'm surprised. Where's Sarah?
I don't know. I texted her, I called her. We'll see.
So I was Skyping with Sarah Kendzior. Kendzior, a writer out of St. Louis on economics, politics, and the media. She wrote a recent article in the Globe and Mail. Is she back?
No.
On the Globe and Mail, the Trump ship may finally be sinking. That's wishful thinking. And we went to a break, and she sat there for a minute smiling, and then she hung up.
Yeah.
And you tried to get her back?
Yeah, I did. I tried to call her on the Skype. I tried to call her on her cell phone.
And what happened?
And then I texted her at the last minute. And no answer.
She ran?
I'm thinking so.
Kendzior, first name Sarah.
Sarah Kendzior.
And she writes for the Globe and Mail, right?
Yeah, she was talking about how Steve Bannon and this guy named Icon was leaving.
I was about to ask her about Steve.
Mm-hmm. She said that Steve Bannon was spouting white supremacist rhetoric. And so I wanted to learn what the rhetoric was that was white supremacist sounding.
So
there's your article.
That was my next question coming up for her, but I had to go to break. She ran. Sarah, you should not have done that. No, Sarah, don't do that. Because
she said okay. Hold on.
Oh, she's coming back?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I was about to give her the chicken song. She's coming back. Yes. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. We are getting her back on Skype. She was not responding, so she is back. Sarah.
Wait.
Oh, we're getting the volume back. Is it taking that long, Joe?
Yeah, they just got to get that on the screen. But you can put it on.
Yeah, you can still put it on while you work on that.
Oh, wait, she's coming.
Sarah,
Yeah.
what happened?
I had told you that it was, or that I had been told it was 15 minutes when you cut to break. I assumed that was it.
Oh,
Did you have
no.
anything else you wanted to add?
I did, yeah. I'm glad. I thought you ran, but I'm glad you didn't.
No, I don't run, but I do correct myths and misinformation. So unfortunately, sir, you're going to get more of that if you keep me on the air.
Oh, that's fine. I
Really
love
up
it.
to you.
Couple things. You said that Steve Bannon is known for white supremacist rhetoric. Give me an example. And I know Steve, he's a good man, and I've not known him to be, quote unquote, a white supremacist.
Have you ever read Breitbart?
Yes.
There are a large number of examples one can find simply by looking through Breitbart. And
Give me
reading its
one of
archive.
Steve. Give me one really fast.
Of Breitbart's headlines?
No, of
Are you
Steve.
serious?
Yeah, give me an example of Steve.
Steve Bannon is someone who ran Breitbart, who ran Trump's campaign, who sat and approved of extremely
But that doesn't make him a
xenophobic
white.
and racist
That doesn't
policies.
make him a white supremacist. You're not giving me an example.
How would you define a white supremacist? To me, a white supremacist is someone who espouses white supremacist views and then backs them up in policies and actions.
What has he said?
There are so many examples of this.
What has
Of his relationships with other white supremacists, of the fact that he publishes these articles that paint different races and different ethnic groups with broad, stereotypical, and
Sarah,
extreme.
you're not giving me anything.
Go ahead and do you want me to just take out my phone?
You the one. You wrote this. You said this, but yet you're not giving me any example.
It's because, give me an example of something that he did that was not white supremacist.
He helped get the
Breitbart,
president. He helped.
Look at the last,
Hey, Sarah.
few years of articles that have been run under Bannon's tenure. Look at the policies that Trump has created.
You're not giving me anything.
He was his chief advisor. He was working
and that's
side
a
by
good
side
thing.
with Trump. He was
That's a
running
good
Trump's
thing.
campaign.
That's a
which
good
is
thing.
full. I've given you examples.
Sarah, let me do this. Hold on, because of time. Hold on. Do you agree with me that there is no such thing as racism, that it has never existed? It's a lie that's been made up by godless liberals, and that
I do
black
not agree with
Americans,
that.
black
No,
Americans are suffering.
I do not agree with that.
Hold
I
on,
think
Sarah.
racism
Sarah, hold on.
is real.
Hold on.
That's
Hold on.
why we've had laws
Hold
passed
on.
in order
Black
to prevent
Americans are
being
suffering.
harmed by racist discriminatory policies.
Sarah, black Americans are suffering due to the destruction of the family and the lack of moral character. It has nothing to do with color. Do you agree? And so racism has never existed, and blacks are being used by far left liberal radicals such as yourself and the Democratic Party, the media, in order to destroy this country, turn into a socialist
that's
society.
a really disrespectful thing to say to people who have suffered from racist and discriminatory
No, they're
policies
not.
throughout American history.
They have not.
This is a structural problem, and we've seen these laws in play.
Not true.
And I think that's a pretty cruel thing to say.
It's the truth. The president said no transgenders in the military. Isn't that a wise decision?
No, it's a really bad decision, which is why Mattis, who actually is a general and has military experience, unlike Trump, has overruled it and wants to continue to let these folks serve.
Who would you want to be in a foxhole with, a man or a woman who is confused about who they are? They're
I
born
would be
male,
fine with
they
that.
were born
I think
female,
that anyone who's willing
and
to fight and sacrifice for our country is somebody worthy of admiration.
They were
and that
born.
their sexual orientation or identity has nothing to do with their moral
It's
character.
insane. It's insane. But let me ask
No,
you.
it's not insane, and that's really disrespectful to our troops.
No,
But
it's totally
I'm not surprised,
insane.
Since Trump and his administration have been disrespectful of our military the whole time. Everything from going
Not
after
true.
John McCain to his or Han, to saying he was grateful for a Purple Heart because he doesn't know what a Purple Heart is, to slashing the budget for veterans. Those are all things that are really disrespectful to our military and our troops, and that personally harm them. So this is just one more part of that, and it's a shame. I think
Sarah,
we
hold
should
on, Sarah,
for our country.
hold on. Isn't it insane to call wrong right and right wrong? You are pretending
I think
that everything that's wrong is right. What happened to you that you lost your way?
I have had my way. I'm quite sure
What
of
happened?
my way.
Were you raised by your father and mother?
Everything I'm saying is accurate, and I know that we have different audiences,
Sarah.
which is why I'm willing to talk to you in the hopes that maybe people will go and think for themselves
Sarah.
and look up information and come to their own conclusions on these matters instead
Sarah.
of just
Sarah.
accepting falsehoods
Sarah.
as truth. I
Sarah.
think that would be a really great thing if that were to happen.
Sarah, were you raised by your father and mother?
Yes, I was, but that's irrelevant.
And do you respect men? Do you respect men?
I respect people who show
How about men?
high moral character and don't peddle lies and disinformation to the American public.
Do you respect men?
Sure, yeah, I
You do.
respect men, but I judge people as individuals.
Amazing. Well, I want you to know that President Trump is the greatest president that this country has ever experienced. Barack Obama, the worst.
I'm so
And
sorry.
in spite of you guys' hatred for him, he will make America
He's
great
not
again.
going to make America
And so
great.
your
Sorry,
article,
I have to inform
your
your
article
audience.
said that
It's
Trump.
Very nice to talk to you. Have a
Your
great
article
day.
said that Trump is. She ran. She's gone again. Your article said Trump ship may finally be sinking. Wishful thinking. Sarah Kendzior hung up on me. You know, right there, she just ran. But she hung in there so she can't get the chicken song because she didn't call back and hung in there as long as she could. So we were about to end it. So she doesn't qualify for the chicken song. All right? She did not deserve the chicken song because she hung in there the best she could. I noticed with liberals, they tend to speak over you and just talk all over you because they don't want the truth to get out. But we have to deal with them. And I do appreciate the fact that she came on, as she said, even though she doesn't agree with me, she came on. So that's pretty cool.